Thank you for everyone joining in once again to the live stream. It is Monday, 10 a.m. We are going to be starting a Wednesday and now a Friday stream as well for 10 a.m. till midday. So make sure you follow on Twitch, YouTube, Kick, all the big social media platforms. They'll be going live there. So today's episode, we're going to be talking about EVs and diesel because it comes up all the time on the channel. People are stuck in the ways and love the diesels, or some people love changing into the EVs. And it's a big argument, a big discussion about it. So I thought to do a little live stream all about EVs versus diesel. Time for all joining in, much appreciated. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes to all build up and stuff. So yeah, nice one. Hello, everyone on TikTok. Don't forget, if you're coming in on TikTok, make sure you come over to Twitch, ask a question, because when the stream gets going, I sometimes struggle to answer or read the comments on TikTok. But Twitch is normally pretty good because the comments comes on my big screen. Also, if you are joining on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, or Kick, let me know how the new microphone is. I've just got a new mic on a boom. Very professional of me. So yeah, let me know if the sound quality is okay. Because I haven't even done any settings with it. I just plugged it in and hopefully it works. Morning, Az. How are we, mate? You okay? Are we all good? Sounds cushy. Nice one, P. On Twitch. Much appreciated, man. Yeah, so we're talking about EVs and diesels today. Obviously, you can talk about whatever you want here. Do you know what I mean? But that's the main discussion because I am a fan of my EVs. I really am. But I do like my diesels. Always have. Grew up big, bit of a petrol head, bit of a street racer when I was younger. A legal street racer, obviously. Wouldn't do anything illegal or own up to it on social media anyway. So yes, I used to love my cars, boy racer, loved it. But when you go on an EV, it's hard to go back to a conventional engine. EVs are great if you have a house to charge. 100%, mate. I recommend, especially for your taxis and your Uber drivers, I heavily recommend going EV if you can charge from home. I think if you don't charge from home, or you can't charge from home and you're relying on rapid charging, that kind of gets rid of the big benefit of your cheap electric charging, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? So that's my thought process on it anyway. I have never charged in a charging station. Honest to God, right? People say to me how inconvenient EVs are, right? And I say to them, no, but I've gone back into a diesel recently because I wanted a cheap car. When I went back into a diesel, right? It is more inconvenient to be in a diesel than it is an electric. I wake up every morning and my car is charged, ready to go on my day, right? But the diesel, I've got to keep going to the petrol station. It's driving me insane. I've got to keep going to the petrol station and filling up with diesel. Where my wife's car, she just wakes up like a phone, fully charged, ready for the day. My Nero does around 300 miles on full in London, lasts me 2 days. Amazing, amazing. Mikey on Twitch, hello mate. Thank you for joining in on Twitch. Driver Ruzzy, hello Matty, love the content. Thank you very much for joining on Twitch. I'm trying my best to build up the Twitch, so more people on Twitch, the better. Marty, thank you very much. That's my Martin, innit? From WhatsApp. Um, but yeah, nice one for tuning in on Twitch, guys. Much appreciated. I am trying to build up the Twitch. I've already got a big following on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, but like I'm brand new on Twitch. Kick is kind of just in the background. If people are on Kick, come and join on Kick. Happy days. Do you know what I mean? But my main push is Twitch. Morning, is he on YouTube? Hello, mate. P, this is why I've been looking on Otto, Enyaq, £199 a week. I just don't think the mileage is the best. So what range have you got on the Enyaq? Now, Raf, who normally joins on Twitch, I don't know if he's joined in yet, he might be out working. He's got an Enyaq on Otto. So once he jumps in the chat, you can maybe speak to him, mate. Martin, could you message Raf for me and see if he's coming on? But yeah, the Otto Enyaq deal. That's what that's what a lot of people are going for, like at the moment. Time to follow on Twitch, Mikey. On Saturday, got a strange share job offered £2.88 for 1 mile. Never seen that before. Yeah, mate, Ruzzy, it's happening quite a lot, mate. It's happening quite a lot. The new share jobs are just so low pay. It's crazy, mate. Does he have the 80 or the 85 though? Their mileage are not quite bad. So what Enyaq have you been offered, P, from Otto? What's the battery, the one you've been offered? Yeah, I'll ask him when he comes on, mate. Lee, thanks for the follow on Facebook, mate. Appreciate it. The 60 is borderline average, 185 to 225. Yeah, mate. So my Model S, and I don't work loads on the taxis, but my Model S was about 200 on average. Do you know what I mean? It'll go up and down depending on the weather. And yeah, I think, depending on where, P, obviously 0151, you live in Liverpool. If you can get to Heathrow on a single charge, I reckon that's a huge win for an EV. Because you're not going to go much further than there, are you? Heathrow, big job. What's Heathrow? 220 mile. So if you get the big battery one, close to 300 mile, and you can do a Heathrow on a single without stopping, and then you charge up a Heathrow and drive home. That is like your perfect scenario. I was at 200 and I was slightly too less for Heathrow. So when I done the odd Heathrow in the Tesla, I had to stop halfway for a rapid charge. Now, most people don't mind stopping. Do you know what I mean? Most people don't mind stopping, have a little break, have a burst. Do you know what I mean? But I think just for those people that don't want to stop, I think if you can get to about 220 without charging, I think that's a bonus. Marty, only elect that makes sense to me is a second-hand pre-lift MG5 20 plates for 6k. Does 220 miles on charge. Decent build quality, very cheap insurance, big boot, and doesn't look too shabby. Have you actually sat in an MG5, Marty? No. If you sit in an MG5, mate, you might not agree with that. I've sat in an MG5 and it was like sitting on the floor. My heels were on line with my bum. It was just so weird how uncomfortable that car was. It might be because I am tall. Do you know what I mean? But I felt so uncomfortable in that car. Don't you agree? Mohammed on Facebook, petrol hybrids. Yes, mate, it's a very good option. Definitely a very good option, especially if you can't home charge, mate. Mick on Facebook, thanks for joining in, mate. ID4, apparently 349 miles, but realistically 250 to 280. Yeah. So what I noticed, and people think it's because you're using your heaters and stuff like that, why you get a lower range. It's not. It's because um it's because batteries are in a very poorly efficient in cold temperatures. It's not actually because you're using all the heaters and stuff like that. That doesn't affect it nowhere near as much as literally the batteries just perform bad in cold weather, especially freezing weather. So yeah, I noticed the best way I could notice in the Model S is I could do 3 Manchester airports on a single charge in the summer. I could only do 2 in the winter. That's how much I noticed the difference. So I could do Liverpool to Manchester and back. Yeah, that's 70 mile. I could do Liverpool and Manchester back, 70 mile, and then I could just do a Liverpool to Manchester and back where I've got a charge, right? In the summer. In the winter, I could only do 2. I could never get 3 man airs done on a single charge. So the winter does massively affect it, guys. So if you're wanting a 220 range target for your working life, you need a 300 miler, 320, something like that. Long range Model Y, a long range Model 3 if you don't need the boot. Do you know what I mean? And then you get some really big battery ones now, like the Enyaq, like the Ioniq 5, like the Kia EV6. The MG5 is what? 220? Is that on a full charge? So you might be only talking 160s, aren't you, fully charged? It's a little bit low, isn't it? Look, the lad you work for one has got one, has he? Yeah. I wouldn't mind it a bit known. more info on Otto. To be honest, just can't be bothered getting roped into a load of crap. Yeah, you know what, mate? Let me just message Raf. Uh, someone asking about Otto. Oh yeah, never mind. He's here. Hey, I was just WhatsApping you, Raf. So P wants a bit of advice on Otto, and I know you're the expert because you've currently got an Otto Enyaq. So I thought you might be able to help him with that. So what, Raf? What Enyaq have you got? What battery size and what range are you getting out of a full charge? Usman on Facebook. Hello, mate. Tesla best EV. Charging network is unbeatable. Very true. They're generally reliable if you get the pre 2020 or post 2022. 21 I hit and miss with the battery. Usman, 100%. I had the Model S and it was obviously they're nowhere near as reliable or as good as the Model 3 and the Model Y. 2022 plate and above. Do you know what I mean? I think the Teslas are solid. Also, guys, you got to make sure with Karma, hello, mate. Thanks on Twitch. Give us a follow if you haven't already. Um, with your Teslas, right? Tesla don't care if it's being used as a taxi. Now that's a massive, massive point, by the way. So if you've got a Tesla, and I think BYD is similar, if you've got a Tesla and you've got a 120,000 mile warranty on the batteries and electric motors, they don't care if it's a taxi. Where a lot of other car manufacturers obviously wouldn't pay out and stuff because it's being used as a taxi. So that's a valid, really good point when choosing, especially a second-hand EV, is that the warranties aren't 100% if you used as a taxi, other than Tesla and BYD. As far as I'm aware, there might be more manufacturers that don't mind an taxi being used, but yeah, they're the two I know of. And I think that's dead important. My electric motor went on the Model S, and it was it was like 5 or 6 grand repair, and it got done under warranty. Do you know what I mean? So Rafa's said 85 kilowatt battery, 77 usable. It's always the way. 350 to 360 mile range. Wow. I've lost 10% in the cold weather. So you're banking what, 330 then 320 in the cold, Raf? That's unbelievable. Over a 300 mile range, yeah, that's boss. And I actually test drove. I didn't test drove, sorry. I done a review on Raf's Enyaq. If you want to go and check it out, it's on YouTube. Drive him at YouTube. Go check out the review on the Enyaq. That was actually Raf's Enyaq. Lovely car. Very, very. I've always had a soft spot for Skodas. Really have. And the fact that you can get over 300 mile range on an Enyaq is unreal. Karma, thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Usman on Facebook. Hello, mate. Morning, Matty. It depends on service centre. Someone in the Tesla group said they wouldn't honour the warranty on his car because it was used as a taxi. Is that true, Usman? So is it dependent on the service centres, depending on what's implemented? So I got this fella. Oh, hello, Karma legend. I got this fella. He come out to fix the actuator on the boot because the actuator was broke. Not under warranty, nothing like that. But I removed the plate and everything else because I was paranoid. And he come out and went, "Oh yeah, what is that?" I went, "Yeah." And in the end, who sound was talking to him, he was like, "I'm on the taxis." And I went, obviously, I've removed the plate and that just in case, I didn't want you to grass that's been used as a taxis. And he went, "Lad," he went, "Tesla does not care if it's been used as a taxi or not." If you think about it with Tesla, their selling point is like rideshare. So your Model 3 is like the ultimate Uber rideshare vehicle. So if they're not honouring warranties and stuff for taxi use, then it would be a bit silly, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be a very good business mind, would it? Literally killing your customers, innit? Marty on YouTube. Morning, Matty. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much. Raf, is maintenance included? What happens if it breaks down? Can I just hand it back anytime? Also, does it come plated or is that down to me? Good questions, P. I'm sure he'll help you, lad. Commuted on YouTube. Hello again, mate. G'day, Matty. Preconditioning a cold battery or housing overnight in a garage can help with cold weather, battery efficiency losses. right? I'm not even messing commuter, right? So you know the lad that had done the review on the Kia e-Niro, yeah? So he puts his car in his garage, right? And covers his car, yeah, in like a tarp, like a pool cover tarp, right? He tucks his car in overnight in the garage, and he has noticed like 10, 20% um better range in the winter than not doing it. He literally tucks his car in at night with a big tarp to try and keep his car as warm as possible overnight. And that's what you're saying, mate, with the preconditioning. If you can keep your batteries warm, the warmer the better, you'll get better range during that day. And I think that was a brilliant idea. So that's the goal, you see. If your batteries go cold or they're running cold, then you're going to get bad range. Isn't that very clever, that? But obviously the preconditioning works as well. Keep your car plugged in and precondition it for half an hour, 40 minutes before you set off. And then that'll help as well massively. But if you're driving on an ice cold battery, you're losing so much range in the first hour or so. So with Raf saying with Otto, everything is included apart from tyres and brakes. Um, if it breaks down, they fix it. So fun question, guys. I don't know if you know much about EVs because of um the the energy braking, what's it called? Your battery regen. Your battery regen on your cars. Because that slows your car down, you don't actually use your brake pads very often. So your brake pads don't get replaced hardly ever. Hardly ever, mate. I had my car for 2.5 years. I done 80,000 miles in it or 70,000 miles in it, and it was still on the original pads and brakes from when it was new. Crazy, innit? The maintenance on EVs are unreal. Marty on YouTube, I mentioned before I have a wheelchair accessible vehicle, which is a diesel. Do you know any of versions of EV versions which have over a 300-mile range? The Peugeot Rifter version has about 176. No, mate, the only ones that has a big range and it's minibus style, I would say the new Kia. Is it the PV5, MP5? Them type that are coming out this year with the new batteries. What's that new battery called? The one that's dead efficient and it's massive. The new battery. It's a new style of battery coming out, and they're the ones that are going to be pushing us into the future with bigger ranges and everything else. They're a lot more efficient, a lot more smaller, they're a lot more lighter. P is getting sold by Raf here. Raf, get some commission for Motto, lad. You can break the contract after 9 months, but I think it's a £200 fee. So you can actually, you're not tied up to it, Raf, for your full 3, 4, 5 years, whatever. That's pretty good. Carl on Facebook, do you think EV is worth part time? Yeah, mate. If you can home charge, I have an EV as a personal car. If you can home charge, mate, it's massive benefit. But obviously, if you're a taxi and you're doing high miles, you get a hell of a lot more benefit, more miles you do because of the cheap running costs. Sorry, it wasn't in another group, Matt. It was under the old post about the Ice X7 being plated. You can read the fella's comment there. I'll have a look at that. Thanks, mate. I'm just edging towards the IV60. I think it's under 99 quid a week is reasonable. As regen breaking all the time. It's Bosch, 100% mate. P, what's the difference in price, mate, between the IV60 and the IV85? Because I'm telling you, mate, if you're going to have to start using the rapid charges, it'll cost you the extra, mate, because they're dead expensive. I, myself, personally, depending on how many miles you do, P, I'd go for the bigger battery, as best as you can anyway. Danny, morning, Matty, new to the page. Do you know anyone who has a Mac only on someone getting one? Has a Mac. Oh, sorry, mate. I was trying to read that. I was reading it as a machete. I was like, why is he asking that? A Mac, a Ford Mac, the Mustang. No, do you know what, mate? I don't know anyone who's got one. I don't know anyone who's got one, mate. I don't even think I've seen one plated. Has anyone seen the Ford E Mac Mustang plated? I don't think I've ever even seen one plated, mate. But if you're doing a 1,000 mile a week, mate, I'd get it. If you can home charge, Danny, I'd get an EV. 100%, mate. 1,000 mile a week costs you 20 quid in home charge electric. 20 quid. So the amount of your money you're saving just through charging pays for the car. Solid state battery, Usman, you're a legend. That's what I'm on about. The solid state batteries are coming out this year and next year. That's when we're going to see the big ranges. Did happen to know Sean from Car and Cab is looking at the new Kia PV5 minivan. Seven-seater due this year. EV batteries get cold soaked at this time of year because they're too cold for too long. Yeah, community. So I'm actually got a review. I'll speak to Sean. I've actually got a review coming for the M, not the PV5. Let me have a look. It's the is it MV5? Kia. 2 secs. I'll have a look now for you. So I think I'm sure it was an MV. I can't remember which one, but I'm pretty sure he's getting one in, and I'm doing a review on it next week. Hopefully, I'm sure he's getting one in, mate, for the Kia one, the like the minibus one. And also, mate, I'm doing a review on the Ionic 9, the Hyundai Ionic 9. You know that big, massive seven-seater, which would be great for Uber XL, or like 4 or 5 passengers with a bit of luggage for the airports. I'm doing a review on that as well next week. The Ionic 9. I can't wait to get my hands on that because it's a unit of a car. And he's got something stupid like 15 grand off it or something like that. Crazy discount on it. So I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that one. Oh, it's a big difference, P, in it. 199 quid for the IV60 and 279 for the IV85. So it's an extra 80 quid a week. It is a lot, that P. But I'm telling you, mate, the rapid chargings are expensive. So you need to really do some research and check your daily miles and see if your daily miles will be enough in the IV60. Don't get me wrong, the odd rapid charge ain't going to kill you. But if you're running out of charge most days, you got to top up. Honestly, mate, you'll notice the difference. Hi, Munden on Facebook. Hello, how are we, mate? Not many diesel cars left in London, as no new plated cars can be diesel or petrol, only plug-in hybrid or electric cars allowed now, and 10 years old or less. Previous plated diesel allowed for 10 years or less. That's crazy, BBM. But on what do you see future for Uber driver? Um, pound, 80p a mile. For a few more years, they start getting slowly replaced by driverless taxis. Realistically, probably a few years before getting. I reckon 10 years, maybe. Marty, when you say £20 a week for 1,000 miles, Danny, certain time of day, or also with a certain energy company. So most energy companies let you charge a 7p per kilowatt. So when you get 1,000 mile, if you do that, I used to do 1,000 mile a week in a Tesla, and it cost me 20 quid because it was 7p per kilowatt overnight, and you get 3 to 4 miles per kilowatt, and that's where you get your 2 pence per mile. So 2 pence per mile in 1,000 miles is 20 quid, and that's fact. Like, it just depends how efficient your car is. You might get 3p out of 7p. So it might cost you 3p a mile, which will then be 30 quid or 25 quid a 1,000 miles. It depends on the efficiency you get and obviously the rate you get for your night tariff. I'm with Octopus and I get 7p per kilowatt at night. Hello, Jack. Matty, would you use a Tesla Model 3 for PH? I'm thinking about a 21 plate because they're cheap for what they are. Yeah. I think the Tesla Model 3 is probably the best car for Uber and taxis generally. Yeah, 100%. Especially if you can home charge, mate. The supercharger network is fantastic, and the boot is surprisingly big on the Model 3. But if you mainly do airports, Jack, I'd go for the Model Y. But if it's general private hire with the odd airport, I reckon the Model 3 is perfect, mate. I really do. You can probably get 2 to 3 cases in the boot of a Model 3, even though it's a saloon, because you got a big, massive bin in the boot. So you can put a case on its side and then 1 or 2 cases over the top of it. Surprisingly, for a saloon. And also, you can get a little carry-on in the fruit as well, the front as well. So, yeah, pretty solid cars, mate. We've got a Model 3, standard range, just a personal car. And we're looking at possibly upgrading that to the Model Y in the future. Matt, I paid 12 grand for a Hyundai Ioniq electric 2020 plate for 26,000 miles on the clock. Range states 193, but it surpasses that, especially in the summer. Was getting 244 miles in the winter warmer months. Gilbert, 12 grand for that Ioniq electric is crazy, mate. Ioniq, Hyundai, and Kias are blob on with their mileage or more. I know a lot of Ionic 5 drivers who are getting more than the claim mileage in the summer. Same with Kia. I don't know why. I don't know how they do it, but their claim mileage is quite low. When a lot of manufacturers' claim mileage will actually be, you know what I mean? Like they're over the top of it. But for some reason, Kia and Hyundai are blob on. There's no need to spend 25 grand. There's plenty of used EVs with decent mileage on them for under 20 grand on Auto Trader. Gilbert, I was looking at a Model 3 last night, and it was, I think it was 11 grand for 160,000 on the clock. High miles, but 11 grand for a Model 3. Mental, mate. Driverless army is coming. Yeah, it is. That's going to be a subject of another live, that. The driverless taxis are coming and when. Because we talk about anything on these streams, as always, but I just think having a subject of the streams makes a big difference. Listen, guys, join on Twitch if you want to ask a comment, guys. I keep missing you on TikTok. Thank you. And I'll be back Wednesday, 10 a.m., by the way, guys. Just want to let you know. Toyota being out solid state batteries next year, 2015, since 2015. You have the right idea with the Ionic. Computer, I'm pretty sure solid state batteries have been confirmed for this year with Hyundai. Confirmed, mate. Toyotas. What's mad with Toyota? Let me talk about Toyota there quick. One of the best cars on the planet for private hire, for hybrid, for efficiency, for reliability. It's a little bit small, but the Toyota Corolla estate, isn't it? It is like the most used outside the Prius, the most used, like fundamental taxi. Why aren't Toyota doing a full EV Corolla? Why aren't Toyota continuing the Corolla estate? Honestly, I just don't get it. The Corolla is a one mental car, mate, and they're not pushing it at all. I don't get it. Which EV did you have, and what range would you get on average? My EV, I had the Model 3. I've got now. I don't track it. I've got a clue on that one. I don't track it because it's only used personally. So we just charge it up overnight, wake up, drive, and it's never been rapid charged in the year and a half we've owned it because it's just personal. You never really use rapid charges in personal vehicle. My Tesla Model S, it was on paper about 230, 240 miles, old tech, 75 kilowatt battery, and it got between 180 and 200 miles on a full charge. But it was like 8 years old, and it was on old tech. And the old Model S's weren't very efficient compared to the newer Model 3s. I've been looking at adult apprenticeships, a mechanic one, just under 1,600 a month till trained. Brilliant, Jack. Brilliant. No robo taxi replacing you there, lad. Edinburgh won't allow tints. Not sure how much it'll cost to change the glass on the Y to clear. We've never understood that, mate, why some manufacturers do not allow tinted glass, especially manufacturing tinted glass. I understand third party tinted glass, but not manufacturer. Crazy. Most of the depreciation has already happened. Yeah, second hand. Yeah. So what I say is right, especially as a taxi, you can either buy second hand, which is save the depreciation, or buy new with one of the taxi sellers like Car and Cab Care or one of them, because they get big discounts off the manufacturers, which will help with the depreciation. And also, they normally offer you a better, um, a better warranty as well. You know, like a confirmed taxi warranty because they're sold to taxi centres. Uber X on YouTube, hello mate. The new Tesla Model Y is supposed to have the much improved ride and handle. Mate, I've test drove the old Model Y and it drives like a ship caught out at sea in a storm. Not a fan how the Model Y drives. It's too topsy-turvy. Wobbles from the hip. The Model 3 drive's 10 times better. But the new Model Y, I've sat in it, and it's just leagues above the old one. I've read online that the suspension is supreme in comparison. Do you know what I mean? I'd love, like, absolutely love the new Model Y, the brand new shape that come out in 24, 25 plate. I'd love it. They've massively improved. Massively improved the Model 3 as well, by the way. So the Model 3, that's got the interior mood lighting. They've massively improved as well. I think they come out in 24, didn't they? Yeah, one. I'd love one of them. Lovely. 10 years until robo-taxis monitor Uber cabs in London. Remember, robo-taxis cost Uber 150k each, plus insurance for Uber. So we'll be a less loss leader to gain market share. Uber versus Waymo. 100%, mate. I still think the Tesla cybercabs would be the big one to watch on a mass scale. I reckon Waymos can bring them out on like a gimmick, like an app, run a couple of hundred, whatever. But mass scale, I reckon the cybercabs will do it, especially in America. I reckon the cybercabs will just be getting spat out every 30 seconds. Brand new cab, go and work, go and work. Unreal, mate. And they're gonna have their own app as well, so they're gonna be keep competing with Uber. The cybercabs, crazy, mate. It's gonna be an interesting few years anyway. I'm in an Ionic hybrid now. Is that the one that you break your neck in the back, P? They're heavy in the back, them lad. I got one as a passenger. Nearly snapped my neck getting in the back of it. I've done on Facebook. Matty, I want to ask you one question. Has any other drivers had a rebound from Manchester Airport not coming on the screen because I've been doing jobs and much to airport for the last 4 or 5 days and there is no rebound? I'm back at the queue with other drivers. Has it happened to anyone else? Do you mean, are you on about the priority job that you normally get because you're dropping off? I'm not too sure, mate. It's the first I've heard. I'm not too sure. The Corolla 1.8 is great. The 2 litre can have issues. Is that right? Yeah. I'm not too sure about the Corollas. I don't fit in one. I settled one a few years ago. I had a brand new one of like a 22 plate, I think. 23 plate. And it was great, but no one could fit behind me. I'm a bit of a lounger, do you know what I mean? I'm a big lad, so I struggled with the Corolla. People were moaning at me as passengers, saying, move your seat forward, mate. So just not big enough for me. And the boot, surprisingly, the boot's quite small in it for the airport runs. Toyota have gone the SUV route, so that's what they find to sell. Like the RAV4 and that. It's a shame, mate. It's a shame because their estates have been brilliant. I done a review on the BYD Seal estate, and I thought that was amazing. And I reckon that is going to take over from the Corolla. I reckon if you're looking at an estate and a hybrid, I reckon that BYD hybrid, plug-in hybrid, I reckon that is going to be the Corolla replacer. I thought it was a lovely car. Review on YouTube as well. Again, it's after like some follows on TikTok. Sorry, I'm ignoring you. It's hard to keep on with the comments and that. I'm with Octopus. I don't get the 7p per kilowatt overnight. I've got the Intelligent Drive pack add-on. It's £30 a month and covers all scheduled charging. Cost me 1 penny for every 4 miles I drive. And I've heard about that, mate. The only reason I never went onto it is because I've got solar panels and I charge my battery packs overnight on the 7p. It's the only reason why I haven't gone for that 30 quid thing. But 30 quid guaranteed fuel for an EV car is just nuts, isn't it? So Raf has got a package with Octopus and he home charges his car for 30 quid a month. Doesn't matter how many miles Raf does it. He says it costs him 1 penny for every 4 miles. So what's that? Can't even think. So 10p for 40 miles. Come on, come with me, guys. 400 miles is a quid. Stop it. 800 miles is 2 quid. 1,200 miles is 3 quid. Have I just done that math right? That can't be right, that Raf. 3 quid for 1,000 miles? It can't be. Mate, that's mental, that, if it's true. Let me know, Raf. Yeah, that struggle's getting out, to be honest, constantly knocking my chair. Yeah, P. That Hyundai, mate. Hyundai Ionic Hybrid was a painful car, like. Do you fit okay in the Model 3? We're about the same size. Yeah, Jack. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Lads, I done a check out I'm 6'5", yeah. So all my reviews, I sit in my driver's seat and then I jump behind the driver's seat, set at my height. So if you're similar to me, you'll know exactly how much um room is behind yourself for a drive for a pair. Do you know what I mean? So most cars I review, I'm 6'5" and I can fit behind myself for 6'5". That means no one will have a problem behind you in your car. That's why I do the reviews like that. And I've done a review on the Model 3, Jack. So go check it out on YouTube, mate, and I'll show you if I fit in it. I can't remember, but I think I do. Do the town council sites and supermarkets still give cheap electric charging? No, I don't think so, mate. It used to be free, didn't it? But they charge that slow anyway, so they're a bit pretty poor. I'm not too sure though, mate. I've never really, I think used them once, like in a Lidl or something like that. Raf can even take the donkey jobs at that price. But Jack, that's the whole point. I'm getting. People say I want to work for Uber in 2026. I want to work for Uber in 2026. People say that, and I say, if you're happy working Uber, great. But for you to benefit from the awful price jobs, you need to get in like a RAF vehicle. You need to get in a RAF with super cheap charging. So then, when you're doing 80p or a mile, but it's costing you a penny a mile, that is where the magic's at. Do you know what I mean? If you're doing a mile on Uber and it's costing you 15p, 20p a mile in a hybrid or a diesel, and RAF's bouncing around in 1p a mile. That's where Uber wants you, and that's the best way to proceed with Uber in the future or Bolt is get your expenses down, and then it'll still make sense. Yeah, Abdul, mate, this is like it's like a book I'm reading here, lad. One sec, guys. Yes, Matty, I don't know if you remember. Before Christmas, I spoke to you about purple new colouring before it used to be red. And I think you said to everyone in your message why it means high rate in these areas now, usually when you drop off. You got to get a small symbol of a car and 4 minutes. That means when you drive around 4 minutes around the airport area, but not happen anymore. So I wonder that has happened to anyone else because once you drop off, the priority job is not coming back and you're going straight back to the queue. Uber drivers now, I speak to the customer service, they said there's nothing on your account and the rebound is still there. So, Abdul, there was never guaranteed anyway. And it's January, so it might be because it's just quiet, mate. Um, but I've dropped off on Uber over the years, loads, and I'd sometimes get a priority job, and sometimes I could do free jobs without a priority job. So I think it just depends, mate. Unless because it's January, it's just quiet. I'm not 200% sure, matey. Jack, I test drove one the other day. It was only 20 minutes drive. Lovely cars, honestly. A little bit hard on the suspension, but I think it's a real nice driver's car. I love booting my wife's Model 3, mate. Boss car to drive. Matty, electric cars worth it without home charging? Opinion? No. Well, yeah, if you really want one. But for like cost purposes, no. If I rapid charge at a non-Tesla charger, like just say like I pulled up at a BP, it's like 80, 90p per kilowatt. That's like 20p a mile, 25p a mile. So when I used to rapid charges, certain rapid charges in the EV, it will be like driving a big dirty diesel minibus, but you're in an electric car. So the rapid chargers are amazing for when you need them in an emergency, but you don't want to base your whole plan on rapid charging. Now, yeah, you can get off-peak charging rates and special deals, especially with your Teslas. I think like off-peak's like 30, 40p per kilowatt, which is still really good, but it still works out to like 10, 12p a mile, which is hybrid pricing. So unless you want to really go, and then you got to sit as rapid charges every time you charge your car, then it doesn't become very convenient. So when you look online and you talk to people and people are saying on social media how inconvenient electric cars are and how expensive they are, it's the guys that don't have home charging. So they're rapid charging every day or every other day, and it's costing them a fortune and it's dead inconvenience because every 20 minutes, half an hour, they've got to wait for it to charge. Where I've had a Model 3 now for 18 months and I wake up and it's got a full tank of fuel and I come on and plug it in like my phone, and I wake up the next day with a full tank of fuel, and I've not been to a rapid charger once. So it's more inconvenience in a diesel because I've got to go to the petrol station. I wake up and it's like, oh, I'm on the red light again, back to the petrol station. Where the electric car, mate, I wake up and it's fully charged and ready for the day. Brilliant cars, mate. Really big fan, honestly. Why do the tallest customers often try to sit behind you? Honest to God, mate, I don't know why, but it always happens, doesn't it? Commuter, Matty, do you or anyone know if you got a new car through Uber, can you do other work on it, other platforms or private jobs also? What do you mean if you've got a new car through Uber? So Uber doesn't sell cars, mate. Uber just has partnerships and probably referral bonuses. So if you got a new car through Uber, it's your car. It's plated private eye. You can do what you want with it. I'm pretty sure, mate. I don't want to ill-advise, but I'm pretty sure, mate. Uber's just a referrer. You're not actually buying it from Uber. Using no karma, having home charging makes it properly worthwhile running an EV. Yeah. Like you said, you can run an EV without rapid charging, but it's a hell of a lot more inconvenient and it is more expensive. I still can't believe people are running at £1 a mile, 2005 prices. Our local base flag, including first mile at £5.60, each mile at £2.10. After tariff two, £6.30 first mile and £2.60 after that. Honestly, mate, it's just the way the world's going, isn't it? Technology. Do you know what I mean? Oh, the Tesla Model X, lovely car. The only thing that put me off of the Tesla Model X is the doors. If the Tesla Model X had normal doors, I would have got the Tesla Model X over the Model Y and Model S. Unbelievable. I done a review on one, didn't I? Unbelievable cars. Jacket was rapid at the moment. I needed rapid charge. Luckily, loads around me. Yeah, might still be worth it for me. 180 quid a month rental, then fuel. What's the cost of fitting the chargers at home? So I think you can. Is there still deals going about with the rapid charging? I'm not too sure if it's still a deal going about with the rapid charging, but anywhere between like 600 quid and a grand, something like that. Do you know what I mean? But if it's your own house, mate, it actually like I've been told it actually improves like your house value, and if you're looking at selling in the future, having like solar panels and a rapid charger fitted is a really good selling point or like a really good way of promoting your house. So it's like an investment in your house, really. That's why I looked at it. Martin on YouTube. The reason I say about prices, our local base won't let you work Uber as well as with them. So all drivers have stayed with local. They shouldn't really stop you, should they? Because you are a flipping self-employed person, aren't you? So it's a grey area, that one, isn't it? Hi Tracy on TikTok. Sorry, I'm missing all the comments. You need planning permission for what? Having your own charge? You don't. Don't need planning permission for a rapid charge on your driveway. I hope you don't anyway, because I haven't got one. Yeah, Pete, so the 3-pin chargers do work, mate, but they're half the speed. So when I had my Tesla Model S, I was using a rapid charger, which is 7 kilowatt per hour charge. So in 10 hours, you can charge up 70 kilowatt. So nearly your full battery in 10 hours with the rapid chargers. So that's the max speed, 7 kilowatt per hour. So your home charge, your 3-pin plug, yeah, they only charge a 3 kilowatt or 3.5 kilowatt. So for you to have a 60 kilowatt battery will take you 20 hours to charge from naught to full. So we used a 3-pin plug for my wife's Model 3 because she might come home and only use like 20 kilowatts or 15 kilowatt, and she just charges overnight with the 3-pin plug. Whereas I used to use the rapid charger. But for taxiing, you need a rapid charger, mate. The 7 kilowatt charger. You can't charge your car on a 3-pin if you're coming home with a dead battery every day. So, P, as an example, if you come home at say 8 p.m. after working at 8 a.m., 8 p.m., and you come home and you plug your car in, on a free pin plug. It won't be charged for your morning shift. What's your thoughts on the resale value of electric vehicles? They're good if you buy them second hand. They depreciate massively. But if you buy one that's already depreciated, they keep the value not too bad. They keep the value quite well. Especially nowadays, the 2026, the actual second hand EV market's where it's at because of the luxury car tax. It's for new EVs. Just a quick heads up, Uber's moved back to Brunswick, Unit 10 Century Building, Tower Street. Free car park at the back. I've just been there this morning. Busy day, everyone. Aye, morning, mate. So there's that the Liverpool hub. Because it was, weren't it? On top, and then he moved to Albert Dock and no one could park anywhere. So if they moved back after, it makes sense because there was no parking at that last one. Bradley on YouTube, hello matey. Hey Matty, I have a normal charger at home. I want to get a Tesla. Do they have an adapter on my normal charger for the Tesla? Should do. So right, what you want to get a Tesla? So have you got a charger at home? Have you got a wall charger at home? A normal charger at home. That's what I mean. Have you got a 7 kilowatt wall charger at home? If you have, that will charge your Tesla because all Teslas use Type C connectors, which is your home charge. Second-hand Model 3 is under 20 grand. Mate, second-hand Model 3 is under 15 grand if you're not bothered with the miles. Cheap as chips, man. Uber X, what's the luxury car tax threshold now? 40k. Lad, I done a article on this morning on DM News. Guys, unbelievable news. They've upped the luxury car tax threshold for EVs only to 50 grand. I think is amazing. 50 grand is the new threshold for EVs. Non-EVs are 40 grand. So a lot of your EVs now will be under the luxury car tax threshold, where I think is just huge. And also the car tax is going up, by the way. You know your car tax is 195. It's now going up to 200. Just for to let you all know. Time for the follow on Facebook, much appreciated. And Taz, thanks very much for the likes and follows on TikTok as well. Much appreciated. How many cases can go in a Model 3? So I done a video on it. If you go and search on YouTube, Uber when you get a chance. But off the top of my head, 2 to 3, depending on the size. Because what happens is you've got a big well in the boot. So when you take the shelf off, you can put a suitcase on its side like that falls into the boot, and then you can still put stuff over the top of the suitcase. It's a dead good useful boot for the saloon. I'd say 2 to 3 cases, mate, depending. Some Model 3 out of warranty, only thing that but puts me off. Yeah, yeah. The warranty is scary because the batteries are the most expensive thing. The electric motors are the most expensive thing. But don't forget, guys, the Model 3's battery and electric motor warranty is up to 8 years. So you could get a 6-year-old Model 3, which is what? A 20 plate with 30, 40,000 miles on the clock. And you still got 2 years left of warranty or up to 120,000 miles. That's what I like about the Teslas. Their warranty, battery warranty on the batteries and the electric motors is fantastic. Really, really good. Just check the 29th of May 2025. You don't need the planning permission. Oh, nice, Tracy. I didn't even know you needed it. Right. I'll tell you what makes perfect sense, Matty, is get the F out of this job. Yeah, I would. You know what we were talking about? Tax makes digital and all that coming in this year. And I've had people message me. This is no word of a lie. I've had people message me and go, lads, I've been on the cabs for 9 years. Am I going to have to register for self-employment this year? Honestly, I'm not even messing, guys. It exists. It exists. So, Yeah, I think a lot of people leave the trade. I really, really think so. I think people are making taxis and Uber work because they're currently they're currently blagging it. They're currently blagging it. I reckon a lot of people will get out the trade before April this year. I really do. I think that a lot of people are gonna get out of it because tax makes digital. General self-employment, I think people are gonna struggle. I reckon people are gonna leave self-employment and go employed just to save the hassle of this tax makes digital. It's gonna be mental. How many cases? Sorry, I'm thinking about that. I'm sure I've seen it. How many cases going to Model 3? I just said that, didn't I? Oh yeah, that was it. Matty or anyone, how many in-hold suitcases, or the big suitcases, Paul, can you get in a Skoda Superb? About 1 billion. Skoda Superb, even if it's the hatchback or the estate, is crazy, mate. 4, 5, maybe, depending on the size. Massive. If you get a Skoda Superb, mate, you will not have a problem with luggage. Because normally, you got to remember, Paul, and a lot of people, you got to remember this. People always go for the massive boots and the big estates and stuff like that. But you got to remember, guys, even like my company, DM Airport Transfers, UK wide, please tell all your friends to book. No, but seriously, um, over 2 cases or 3 cases, and you go on a minibus. Simple as that. Not many companies have like estates or nothing like that. They literally do 2 to 3 cases in the car, and then it goes anything bigger than 3 cases, 2 cases goes in the minibus. And most companies operate like that. So people are going out and getting the biggest, massivest boot ever, prepare for all these cases. But you're only going to be getting jobs of 2 to 3 cases, maybe four, 2 suitcases, two carry on. Honestly, because most companies will throw it to a minibus. I had one today. What was it today? Heathrow into London, and it was 3 passengers, 4 cases, and he went in a minibus. Do you know what I mean? Because otherwise you're going to be struggling to try to find a car that can take 4 cases. Do you know what I mean? So realistically, I wouldn't stress too much about cases. If you've got a decent sized boot or like an estate, that'll do you. Because more than 3 cases, you're not going to get really any airport work anyway. No one booking an Uber with 3, 4 large cases and not going to be booking an Uber X. They'll be booking an Uber XL, which is your minibus and your little Ford Galaxies and stuff. Jack, can you get third party warranty? I am pretty sure, Jack, don't hold me to it, but no third party warranty will um, warranty a taxi or a private eye. More or less say zero companies will take a taxi or private eye. I've looked into it in the past. There might be the odd one, but you might be paying through the nose for it, lad. Like, so rates will get better when people leave then. Possibly, mate, possibly. But don't forget though, more drivers are coming in. So as people leave, there's be more coming and replacing them. And then they won't be blagging tax or nothing, will they? Because they'll know about tax makes digital because they're brand new to the trade. Edinburgh Council asked for the UTR number, scratched from everyone. Yeah, Jack, so do Liverpool Council and that. But you got to remember, Jack, your badge is 3 years. Do you know what I mean? So if you got your badge 3 years ago, they weren't asking for the UTR number then. So there's people this year now still haven't reported or set up self-employment yet, but they'll be starting this year. I reckon they're the ones that'll be bailing first. What about the Skoda Enyaq's boot for cases? Raf, how many cases can you get in your boot, lad? Be it clearly the government wants everyone on payee. Far too much nonsense in this game now. £20, 20 mile an hour enforcements. Just put a top hat on for lots of us sitting around for 6, 9 points. 100%, mate. 100%. I reckon that's where they're pushing. Get people on pay YE. Definitely. Such easier for them to track. Obviously, you're paying maximum tax, maximum insurance. Yes, Matty, £1 a day to fully charge 350 miles. So £3 for 1,000 miles, 30 quid for 10,000 miles, 300 quid for 100,000 miles. The small print says not for commercial vehicles, but you'll never know. £1 for a full charge. Come on. When we're talking about electric and diesel, is any hybrid diesel or anyone beating £1 for a full 350 mile? Even more crazy, £3 for 1,000 mile. £3. So who was doing 1,000 mile a week before? It'll cost you £3 a week. So you're telling me for a 4,000 mile a month, it's going to cost you £12 in electric. So if you're paying £600 a month now in just diesel, you can buy a brand new EV car with that. So I done a TikTok and a little reel on it the other day. So it means that swap your diesel bill or your fuel bill, and you're swapping a very old Al Mondeo or Al Ford Focus Estate or whatever for a brand spanking new warranted low maintenance electric vehicle for the same price you're using just for your diesel. That's not including your maintenance, that's not including your servicing, your repairs. Mental. And that's why I say, especially taxi drivers, mate, if you're putting in 1,000 mile a week and you can home charge, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer, mate. P is on £20 a day, hybrid. So what's that, P? 6 days a week is £120. So that's a month, 240, £500 a month just in a petrol hybrid, mate. £500 a month. Rafa's getting 4,000 miles a month for £3. And people say, oh, is it worth going into an electric as a taxi driver? You must be mental if you're not. With Uber's rates now, you need to get in an electric car with home charge. Like I said, though, I always had on home charge. Raf, so the Toyota Enyaq, he has had 3 full-size cases in, 2 carry-on, and 3 backpacks or rucksacks in the boot of the Enyaq. Mental. Jack, I need to renew mine for April. They only give a 6-month badge. Got to sit a course in that 6 months. Problem is mid-November is the course date. So I need to pay again unless I can get a cancellation date. That's crazy, Jack, isn't it? Is that Edinburgh Council, is it? So Blake, in a Prius, is also paying £20 a day. So 7 days a week is nearly £600 a month in a Prius petrol hybrid. Like, people go, Matty, you're mad recommending EVs. I'm literally confirming it with you right now. Swap a £600 fuel bill for £3 a month in electricity, or £4 a month in electricity, and then your car's paid for. And you're not bouncing around in a backbreaker, you're bouncing around in a really nice car. Danny on Facebook, hello, mate. That's me, mate. That was me, mate. Petrol hybrid Ionic, £42 for Phil in Costco. What car that in for £1 for 300 mile. So Danny, any electric car that's got the Octopus intelligent drive pack for £30 a month. So if you got any EV and you got a home charger and you sign up to Octopus's package, you pay them £30 a month for free charging in your EV for the full month. Doesn't matter how many miles you do. So what Rafa's saying, the way it works out is the £30. It works out for him if he uses the full £30. Is 350 mile for £1. Isn't that nuts, guys? It's hard for everyone tuning in on Twitch, by the way. I'm trying my best to get as many followers on Twitch and many people watching on Twitch. So if you're on YouTube or Facebook and you want to come over to Twitch, if you've got an account, just give us a little follow. Even if you want to stay on Facebook, it's up to you. But you got a big screen on Twitch. You can get on your Fire Sticky telly, and it'd be sounding. So yeah, come over to Twitch if you want to ask me a question, guys. On TikTok, I am trying to keep the comments, but it is difficult. Mo on Facebook, no wonder they're taking all the jobs, even ones less than £1 a mile. But that's it, Mo. if you think about it, mate, you're waiting to have to follow us on Twitch for Joel and Jack. Appreciated. So um, you're in your E-Class Mercedes, yeah, and you're turning down £1 a mile because you're only getting 60p after your running costs, or you know what I mean, or whatever, 80p. They're £1 a mile. They're getting it for still £1 a mile because they're so cheap and running. I think that's Uber's goal. I think that was Uber's plan. Let's make it super cheap. Let us take as much money as we can from them. But if we get them all in EVs, it doesn't matter because they're still profiting, probably similar to what they were profiting 3 years ago. Do you know what I mean? But the problem is if you're sticking in your big diesels, you Mo have a V class Mercedes. Yeah, so you shouldn't be on Uber, Mo. I'm sorry, you shouldn't be. I've seen. I went for a meal in Pizza Express in Speak, Liverpool, and I seen three V classes with Uber mags on the journey from Mars to Speak. Three V classes on Uber. And honest to God, guys, if you sit back from a third party's perspective and look at that situation, you are working for free. You will not be making any profit on Uber in a V class. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say, mate. Please, but even if I'm fast charging, I'm still saving. Yeah, Pete, you're probably still saving on fast charging, mate. But like I said, lad, you need to get your home charge set up for the ultimate savings. You get me? If I had home charge, be a no-brainer. Yeah, 100%. Joel, just joined from YouTube. Thanks very much, Joel. Appreciate it, mate. Jack Edinburgh is a joke. Yeah, awful. Guy I rent from says I can buy his Hyundai Ioniq 2020 plate for 13k. Hybrid or full electric? 20 plate for 13k. That seems mad, doesn't it? £10 gives me almost 120-mile radius. £10 gives you the 120-mile radius. What's that for? What's the latest on the free people mile charge for EVs? Is that another government U-turn? Nothing yet, Marty. It's meant to be starting in 2028. It's meant to be starting in 2028, but it could get U-turn before then. But that's what I'm trying to say. Hey, let's confirm this. Raf, you're on a penny a mile, aren't you? Right? Raf's on a penny a mile. In 2 years' time, the 3p a mile comes in. What's Raf on? 4p a mile. It's still miles cheaper than the rest of us. Do you know what I mean? So that 3p miles not bothering anyone. Crazy. What do you think of the Tesla Model 3 long range 21 plate? I on it on Facebook. 100% perfect car for our trade, mate. In my opinion. Rapid charging network's brilliant. Cheap rapid charger compared to the rest. If you can home charge, overnight tariff, amazing. Yeah, Matty, I agree. Uber's plan was to go EV so they could lower the prices and take a bigger cut as the EV drivers would still make a profit compared if they had diesel hybrids. That's it, mate. 100%. I'll probably pack it in. Ain't paying that stupid high insurance price. Yeah, mate. Toyota Auris hybrid. Oh, okay, yeah, I get it. I think the Octopus 30 quid only give you that flat rate of 7p to charge the car, even at peak times. No bonus. What Raf is saying, it does not give you £1 a day, all day charging. No bonus. What Raf is saying, you pay 30 quid and you assign the 30 quid to your car, and then you can charge for free all month for the 30 quid. It's not free, obviously, but you're paying 30 quid and you charge your car all month on that 30 quid. Obviously, if you're off for 2 weeks, obviously you'll probably lose out on the 30 quid a bit. But generally, if you're on the taxis and you're smashing the miles in, that 30 quid sounds like a fantastic deal to me. Boneless is saying it doesn't work like that. Raf, Boneless is saying it doesn't work like that, mate. It's a flat rate of 7p. Raf, Boneless, come on. Internet straightener. I need to know the truth. Boneless, I haven't got that, mate. I've got my Octopus Intelligence overnight tariff for 7p. So I charge mine at 7p overnight. I don't have that 30 quid package, so I can't comment. Raf, I'm just relaying what Raf's saying. Raf, I know Raf personally, and he's normally spot on. So let's see what Raf says. But Boneless is saying if you pay the 30 quid a month, your 7p is a flat rate 24 hours a day, but you still got to pay the 7p. when you plug your car in. Is that what you're saying? Drama, telling you, little flipping internet straightener, love it. Wraps on 4 miles for a penny. It's crazy. Isn't it? Yeah, we have to be interested to see if this works, doesn't it? Mo, downside of paying and having the so cheap fueling charges, you'll be definitely paying more to the tax man or VAT man as you'll hit the higher tier on tax bracket. Listen, Mo, people think higher expenses is better for tax. It's not, mate. You'd rather have the income than pay the tax man, the expense to not pay the tax man. If you're earning 4 grand a month, yeah, and you're paying 3 grand expenses, you're on 100 quid, £1,000 a month, aren't you? Profit. You pay the tax man 200 quid, so you're left with 800 quid, aren't you? So you're telling me that's good math because the expense comes off your profit. But if I had a 4 grand income and I had a £1,000 expense, that's 3 grand income. If I pay the tax man 600 quid tax, which is 3 times more than you, yeah, I'm still left with 2,400 quid. So I've earned a hell of a lot more than you. Stop thinking that your expenses is a positive. Expenses is saving you from the tax man. The expenses is costing you profit. The best thing you can do in this job is lower your expenses. And if you're Mo, if you're not a high level chauffeur company ticking over the weekly, ticking over in chauffeur work, get out the V class and get in a flipping EV or a hybrid. Honestly, mate, people say expenses, it comes off the tax bill anyway. I'd rather have the money in my back pocket to have the follows guys appreciate it. Do you know what I mean? LJ sounds bone like boneless would have a clue. He's brainless. The element. I mean, £30 sounds a month too good to be true. I know. Matty Octopus, they changed the overnight tariff on intelligent TV. Now it's 6 hours of 7p. Anything over, even with the smart schedule, it's like 22 to 24p or whatever it is. Okay. They've changed this month, have they? Right, Raf has copied and pasted it from the Octopus website. So let's see if it's true. Bonus, are you ready? Hassle-free charging with Intelligent Drive Pack. Add unlimited smart EV charging to your standard Octopus Home tariff with £30 monthly subscription. Intelligent Drive Pack is currently oversubscribed. Join Intelligent Octopus Go instead. Thank you, Raf. So by the sounds of it, unfortunately, Bonus, you were incorrect and Raf was correct. I thought so. So I've actually looked into it. So I'm pretty sure Raf was correct. Time for the follows, guys. Do you know what I mean? But bonus, honestly, it just sounds like a really good deal. But what Raf is looking at there, so are they not providing the 30 quid a month now because it's oversubscribed? Oh my giddy ants. So they've stopped the 30 quid a month now, haven't they? But to be honest though, if you're charging a 7p overnight on the overnight tariff, you're still getting, you know what I mean, 3, 4p a mile. It's still amazing. Is it better to register VAT or not in London? No bonus unless your income is coming towards a VAT threshold. It's not worth going VAT unless you need to, mate. And I got told that off my accountant. Danny, thanks for the live. Learns a lot from everyone's help. Thanks, Danny. Much appreciated. This is the whole point of the live, Danny. I wanted a little place to hang out, share advice, talk to each other. You know what I mean? And that's why I've done it. It's live, Danny, from 10 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Better on Twitch if you can, because obviously you got the big screen then and you can read all the comments and stuff like that. So, yeah, guys, honestly, come and join the stream. Come and follow. We're going to build this up and have a great community that help each other out. I don't know everything. Do you know what I mean? Raf has been helping P out with his car. Raf has been advising people with with the 30 quid octopus head. This is the whole point of this chat. Is we're meant to be just chilling here, chilling, gabbing, sharing information. And that's why I put the chat on the screen so you can see the chat. So if you wanted to, you can ignore me if you wanted and talk to each other in the chat. That's the whole point of this whole thing, guys. Do you know what I mean? Mo, I'm seriously thinking of leaving the V class for the chauffeur work only and get a hybrid or a long range EV, but then puts me off of the extra expensive running 2 vehicles. Mo, I ran 2 vehicles for about 6 months and it's really, really bad, mate. It's really bad. You got 8 sets of tyres, two MOTs, two plates, two lots of servicing, and then every time you're in one vehicle, the other one's parked up. I promise you, mate. I've ran two vehicles, two insurances. It's very expensive, mate. It is. You just need to push the show for work, mate, or get out the V class. You really do, mate. Joel, what time are you live till? I normally stay live till about 12, and it's only because I'm talking constantly for 2 hours, mate, and it kills me after it. Um, but I'm normally live about 12, but it sometimes goes over. Do you know what I mean? But I'm starving as well, so like I normally go off at 12 for my dinner. I'm quite regiment with me thingies. But listen, if the live starts popping off and starts growing and getting bigger, and it starts becoming like an income stream, and it starts becoming like another little side income, it's a bit different. I'll push it and do it bigger and bigger and bigger. But while I'm still growing, guys, and stuff like that, I don't make any money from it or nothing. I just want to just slow and steady it. Do you know what I mean? It's after follows, guys. Appreciate it. Uber emailed us today that if you have registered VAT, you will get an extra 20%. If you're not, you wouldn't get 20%. So yes, with the VAT, mate, you can claim VAT back, but speak to an accountant before you go VAT. Really, just speak to an accountant beforehand. I've got multiple businesses, I've got multiple incomes, and I am trying to avoid VAT as much as possible on the turnovers because it's a hassle. And B, you're paying VAT and everything. Honestly, it's just a hassle. I got told by my accountant and a lot of people is if you can avoid VAT registration, the better. Once you hit VAT threshold at the 90K, then it is probably beneficial because you can offset a lot of that VAT and stuff like that. But I can't see it be beneficial to go VAT registered and drive for Uber. I might be wrong. I don't know. You best just speak to an accountant, mate. Mohammed, thank you, Matt. We needed a platform like this, mate. And much appreciated. I've got the Discord, don't forget as well. If you want to jump in the Discord, it's pretty quiet and bits, but the Discord's pretty fun as well. The link's on drivermatty.com. Come in the Discord as well. Have a little gap there when I'm not live. That was the whole point of me doing this, the live stream. Somewhere to hang out. The Discord, somewhere to chill and chat, keep each other company. It's free to join. It's not paid or nothing like that, guys. And yeah, I'm just kind of trying to build even more the Driver Matty brand. Do you know what I mean? That's the plan. I got a free Octopus charger, but my landlord didn't agree to install. Wait a minute, you got a free charger and the landlord turned the free charger down. Is he mental? Wow. You run three vehicles, P. Two cars and a sprinter. Are you mad? What? Fair play to you. Oh my God. Mate, I ran two as a taxi and it killed me, mate. I had a minibus and a Tesla. Mobile, cheap hybrid, too, not too bad running costs. Yeah, yeah. Ian, hello, mate. Minimum £2 a mile. National works best. Yeah, yeah. Let's strike. Ian, are we striking, lad? Let's go. Strike now. Sort it out. But I really need to change that photo from London to the north, Matty. What photo? What photo? Have I got a photo of the London? I don't think I got a photo of London, have I? Where's my photo of me London, Blake? Let me know. London. Get a nosebleed if I go south of Birmingham. Yes, you are right. Uber is offering free accountants or 150 one-off payments if you do it yourself. Really? Yeah. So Uber, by the sounds of it, wants drivers to go VAT registered. Does Uber always want what's best for the drivers? Think about that before you start listening to Uber, guys. I'm not saying Uber's going to be trapping you, but I'm saying Uber does what's best for Uber. They always have done. So if Uber's pushing drivers to go VAT registered, and they're offering a free accountants and all that, or offering you money to do it. Come on, think about it. Speak to an accountant that's not affiliated with Uber and get real advice, mate. Paul, the live will get popular. It'll create surge pricing 10 a.m. Monday to Friday, Wednesday. That's it, mate. But to be honest, though, Paul, a lot of people jump on, right, while they're out working, and then like they'll mute it, put the phone down or whatever, do the job, and then when they're waiting for the next job, they put the live back on. Because the reason I picked 10 a.m. is because it's the dead hours. Do you know what I mean? So I know a lot of taxi drivers and Uber drivers will be jumping on, waiting for the next job, or when they're in between school runs, stuff like that. It's the reason why I've done it at this time, mate. You get a nosebleed driving off your drive. Mate, that's very true. Who is it? LJ? Liam? Is that Liam? Is it Mr. Runcorn? Let me know. Sounds like that type of sarcasm from him. Bang on, Matty. It knew it was, you little rat. 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps, is it? But yeah, you are not wrong. You're not wrong, lad. Know what's best. Know what's best for Uber. What's best for Uber? I'm sorry. Oh, buy a cheap hybrid. Yeah, I reckon buy an electric car, me. But that's up to you, Callum. It depends if you can home charge and that, lad. In London only, I guess. Oh, 100%, yeah. To go VAT as an Uber driver outside of London would be flipping crazy, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? But like I said, I can't advise, mate, just because I just don't know. I don't know the best advice, and I don't try and advise if I don't know. I'm not going to hear pretending like I know. Do you know what I mean? Come ask me, accountants. Yeah. Andy, I'm live at the moment, mate. People are asking me, is it worth going VAT registered as an Uber driver in London? It seems like Uber's trying to push them towards it, because obviously now Uber charges VAT on fares, and I guess they can claim it back. But would you advise an Uber driver to go VAT registered purely for Uber? Ta-la. There you go. The message has been sent to my accountant. He should hopefully be getting back to me shortly. He's normally spot on. Think we need an accountant on here to show us all the loopholes. Mo, my accountant is a pain. He comes on here quite often, but he is a busy guy. January is one of the busiest months for him, right? And he's a pain because I keep trying to get him on the stream, and he's letting me down. He's not coming on the stream, and because I can, yeah, watch this. Let me show you this. Look at that. I don't know if you can see the screen change. I can get special guests on my streams. Do you know what I mean? Um, so I'm waiting for my accountant to jump in, but he's just not having it. He's just not having it, mate. Uber pushing VAT will then change the terms that drivers need to claim it back themselves and make it very awkward for the standard driver. Honestly, God, mate, I just think if Uber's trying to push it on drivers, there's got to be something else about it. Do you know what I mean? Matty, you stink. Lynx Africa, mate. And if you're telling me Lynx Africa isn't the elite deodorant, you're lying to me. Who's Scouse Sim Gamer? Mate, you need to start using your real names on Twitch because you're doing me head in. Who is Scouse Sim Gamer? Scouse Sim Gamer? Sim Gamer? Mick Andy! Lad! It's got to be Mick Adam, man. Andy has just come on. He's my accountant. Did you get me message, Andy? So there's people down in London, Andy, are asking, is it worth going VAT registered? Right? VAT registered, mate, as an Uber driver down in London. Oh, you replied back? Oh, sorry. My phone's on Do Not Disturb. Only if their income is over 90k. So Uber's trying to push them to go VAT registered. I'm guessing before their 90k threshold. Only if their income was over 90k. My accountants have spoken. He has got no ties to Uber. That's his advice to Uber drivers down in London. Myself personally, guys, I trust Andy. He always advised me well. I've said to you from day one, VAT is not a good thing. VAT registered is best at the threshold, but that's why they forced the threshold. Do you know what I mean? Because they want high earners to be VAT registered. But I wouldn't choose to go VAT registered at all. You're trying to avoid it. Do you know what I mean? Andy, great one. Do you know what, mate? I'm saving this number because I don't know how to create clips. I'm going to save this number 1 hour, and this is going to be a short. I'm going to edit this into a short 1 minute 20. Okay, so I've recorded 1 hour 20. So I've recorded 1 hour 20 because that is going as a clip on the social medias. Thank you. What's that do? What does explanation mark clip do? Wait, who's some gamer face? You never answered. Do I have to open Twitch? Can I clip it on Twitch? Because I'm not. I haven't got Twitch open, mate. I haven't got Twitch open, mate. I've got think what's that? Simulator super chat at £2. Good morning, bro. Thank you, Simulator. Much appreciated. I kind of cracked myself then because I didn't know what the chime was. Oh God! But that's good though. It pops you up. So usually, if it gets really busy, can you throw a quid in and then you get a priority reply? Is that how it works? If it gets busy in the future, that's pretty handy to know, isn't it? Right, Andy, over the VAT, because there will be a VAT to be paid on their income, so they could have to pay it over, but they could claim some VAT back on their expenses, but they'll still owe the HMRC. So it's not worth it then. There you go. Accountants have spoken. It is Mick. I thought it was. Scout Sim Gamer. Yes, so Mick, if you do exclamation mark clip, does that clip stuff for me then, does it? Yeah. Can I do exclamation mark clip? I don't even know. I can't even put a message in my own chat. I can't even put a message in my own chat because I'm not on Twitch. I'm not on Twitch. I'm on Streamlabs. Sweet. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Time for all likes and follows. Much appreciated. Yeah. What time is it now? 11:20. It is nearly dinner time, kids. Wait, don't. Come on, lads. Right there. Let me just open Twitch, guys. I'm still learning, by the way. I'm a newbie at this live stream on Lach. But can I hear myself? Learning, by the way. I'm a newbie at this live stream on Lach. But can I hear myself? Learning, by the way. I'm a newbie. That is right. We're there, we're there. I'm here now, I'm here. Let's have a look. Where's the chat? I can't even find. Oh, I've got 26 followers. Thank you very much. Yes, guys. What's happening, chat? What's happening, chat? Yeah, that's class, that, isn't it? Right, good to know that, Andrew. Thanks, Mick. So what I can do is, I can do exclamation mark clip, and that'll clip if there's something good I can use later on, yeah? Brilliant. Simulator, you can claim back your car rental VAT and charging VAT you paid. Only problem is it's hassle. Yeah, so Simulator, what me accountant's saying, it's still not worth it though if you don't hit over the £90,000. It's still not worth it if you don't hit over the £90,000 threshold. Simulator will always end up with you owing the VAT man. So Andy, what you're saying is if you got VAT registered, say a 30 grand income, yeah, you can claim back loads of stuff. Obviously, yeah. But still, you'd say they'd still be paying out to the VAT man more than claiming. Do you know what I mean? So it's just not worth it by the signs of it, mate. Yeah, Mick, you have a good scope for your Twitch setting as well when you're offline. You can create loads, custom stuff too. So I'll keep an eye out for it, mate. I will. Because like I said, I want to try and push Twitch. You know what's the thing called where you got to be the affiliate? You got to be 25 followers and have 4 or 5 concurrent viewers for like 4 or 5 separate times. So I think at the end of the week, I should be able to do that affiliate thing for Twitch, which would be pretty cool. Andrew, because income will always be more than expenses, so you'll always owe HMRC each quarter. Yeah. But in London, you'll get an extra 20% if you are VAT registered. If you are not, you won't get the extra 20%. So what Andy, what he's saying is, if you're on £1 a mile in London, if you're VAT registered, you'd be on £1.20 a mile. Technically, that's what you're saying, aren't you, Sim? Sound, Mick. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I think I'm close to hitting that anyway. Because I've been told that Twitch will push you more on their platform if you're an affiliate, because obviously they benefit from the affiliate, I think. So that's what my goal's been with Twitch. Because obviously I'm already established on YouTube, Facebook, and Kick's just there as a background, really. If you want to join Kick, it's there. I'm not pushing Kick, though, do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's right. That's what I mean, Sim. So you're saying all Uber drivers in London will get 20% extra on their fare. So Andy's put, if they are agreeing to pay you 20% more, then it's worthwhile registering. If not, then it's not worth it. So Andy, if they pay you 20% more on top of your fare, are you saying it's worthwhile going VAT registered then? Because their income is going to increase by 20% and they can offset the VAT expenses. This has turned, hasn't it? The tables have turned. Marty's put, I think Simulator is thinking Uber gives him extra 20% for the VAT man on his jobs. Therefore, whatever he claims back will be profit. That's because you can claim back VAT when you're VAT registered. That's why is Uber telling them that. So they're not going to add 20% onto your fare, are they? It just means you can claim 20% of your fare back VAT. So they're not going to give you extra money, are they? They're just allowing you to claim 20% of your fare back. This is why you have accountants, guys. My head's battered. Andy, so what he's saying is if he earns a grand a week, he can claim, as an example, 200 quid back in VAT each week. Yeah. So then he'll be having 800 quid a month claimed back in VAT. And then he can claim off all his expenses. So would it be better for him to be registered then? This is actually very interesting, guys, isn't it? To have the likes and follows, guys. Appreciate it. Andy's put, but you then also have to declare the VAT on the income. Andy, can I phone you then quick? And you can just speak down the mic. Can I phone you then quick, Andy, and you can just explain what it saves you typing? I won't be video calling it, but can I just phone you that quick? Are you busy? Go on, here we go. So this is how I'm going to get my accountant on. I'll start off with a phone call. And then he'll be like, oh, you know what? A video call won't be a problem. And then next time it'll be, right, you need to let me know if you can hear him. Andy, can you hear me? Hi, Matt. Hello, mate. You all right? So can you hear him, guys? Go on, speak. Yeah.
On that £1,000, you work out VAT within the thousands is £166. But that automatically belongs to the Inland Revenue. Then what you do is whatever that is on the expenses, on the fuel and things like that, that is, you minus that off the 166, and whatever's left needs to be paid over to HMRC.
Right.
People saying they can claim the back on the expenses you paid, but you also have to declare that on the income. Now, Uber turns around and says, right, we're going to give all the drivers 20% more on top of the fare. Drivers won't be it because they're getting 20% more. They'll then make VAT. Make a bit of income on the VAT.
Right. But Uber, if Uber obviously is not paying them drivers 20% more, but what they're saying is you can claim the VAT back out of the £1,000, it still wouldn't be worth going VAT registered unless you hit the threshold.
£1,000, £1,000, say, 20% section. £1,000. £166 is minus. Shooting it down by 166. It turns around and says, they want to give everyone 20% on top. Means they get to keep the £1,000 that they would normally earn. They're getting paid an extra £200 on top of 1,000, which is the VAT.
Okay, I get you. Well, so that would be worth it then.
If Uber says we will give all the drivers an extra 20% if they've registered, then it makes sense to declare registered.
Perfect.
And they're saying, like, £1,000 you earn that week, you're paying VAT on, and the driver's going to be down 166. He'll gain a little bit back on his expenses.
Okay, right. No worries, Andy. Thanks, mate. Go on, I'll join you back in the chat now. Thanks, mate. Ta-ta. Right, Andrew near the accountants in Crosby, by the way, P. So what he's saying is, if Uber comes out and says, London drivers, if you become VAT registered and we add 20% on top of the fare, so we're paying you 20% more than the non-VAT registered drivers, then go VAT registered. But what he's saying is, if you're earning the same as other Uber drivers who aren't VAT registered, but you can claim that VAT back out of your fare, it's not worth it still. Stick to your threshold. That's what my accountant just said on the phone. So I don't know if you couldn't hear him. That's what he's saying now. So simulator, what you're saying is, as Uber come out and said, they will add 20% on top of your fare if you are VAT registered. Now let me try this clip technique. See if that works. I don't know if it worked, but hopefully it did. Uber won't be paying it from their pockets. That's what I'm confused about. Andrew Neary Accountants. You know what, mate? I've got a chat now. Andrew Neary Accountants. Crosby. Liverpool. Right, issue is, guys, he is chocker and he might not be able to take anyone on. I just thought to let you know. Do you know what I mean? But I think we definitely need Andy on the stream in Feb when he's quieted down a bit. I really think we need to get Andy on the stream. Tax Makes Digital is in April. He is very knowledgeable. He's very knowledgeable. And I think he'll make a great addition to the stream. So if you all want Andy to get on the stream, make sure you let me know in the comments. And also like and follow. But Andy, you coming on, lad? Andy? Yeah, lad, Andy, I'll show you now. I don't know what you're watching on YouTube. Right, I'll show you now, lad. Look. So here now, see where it says slot available. Your beautiful face would be there. Okay? And I'm a nice guy, lads. I won't be doing no cheap shots. You know what I mean? Oh God. Does he deal with other businesses as well as Uber? Yeah. I think he just deals with all accountancy stuff, mate. Yeah. I'm going limited next month, I think, and he's dealing with that. Like, right, you're off. Go back to work, Andy. Thanks very much, mate. Appreciate it. Ta for your advice. Simulators put if you are VAT registered only, will pay you 20% VAT. If not, then Uber will pay 20% directly to the VAT man. I don't know, lad. My head's battered with it. So, right, simulator, me and you are working Uber, yeah? I'm not VAT registered. You're VAT registered, yeah? We both earn the same amount of money, yeah? But because you're VAT registered, you get 1,200 quid a month, a week. I get £1,000 a week. Is that what you're saying? Andrew's put, they can't pay direct to the VAT man. So, Andy, are you saying Uber cannot collect VAT from the customer and forward it on to the VAT registered Uber drivers? Is that what you're saying, Sim? So, if Uber's charging VAT on the fare, they collect the VAT from Barry, yeah? And then they go, Sim, are you VAT registered? And they go, yes, here's the VAT. If you're not registered, they pay the VAT man and the driver gets less. Is that what you're saying? I don't know if that works though, mate. I don't know if Uber can collect VAT off someone and just forward it on to someone else. And who's put no. It gets paid directly to the taxi driver, then the driver becomes a tax collector. I don't know, mate. This is so confusing. I've always been told for years and years and years, doing businesses and everything else, is avoid the VAT threshold and try not to pay VAT. Do you know what I mean? Would you still be doing Uber if you weren't doing social media content about it? To be honest, 24 on TikTok, thanks for the comments. I don't actually do Uber content. I just do general news about the trade, mate. And I don't need to be an Uber driver to do that. Do you know what I mean? So, like this live today is talking about EVs and diesel cars. Nothing to do with Uber, mate, and I can still talk and communicate about it. I've got a news blog called DM News, so I report news stories about the trade. Same again, not an Uber driver, mate. So realistically, if I do stop Uber, which I probably will do in the near distant future, is yeah, I can still keep doing the content as it is because a lot of people now watch me that aren't even Uber drivers and taxi drivers, but general car related content. You know what I mean? Thank you for the comment, though. Time for the likes and follows. Much appreciated. He then offsets his VAT on expenses off the income, and then he pays the balance over to the HMRC. Anyone else just confused as me? My head's gonna fall off. Hello, Bradford. How are we, mate? We're good. We were talking about Uber and VAT, and my head's falling off. But we need to know, really, don't we, Andy? We need to know, is Uber paying the drivers 20% more? I can't see it. Andy, the way VAT works, do you think Uber's going to give VAT drivers 20% more than non-EV drivers? I just don't think they would do that, would they? Why am I going limited company? No, nothing to do with taxis and Uber, mates. Do not go limited for the taxis. It's not worth it, mate, unless you're in it over a certain amount. Yeah, I'm going limited because my airport company, mate, which is not driver related. The airport company is like a marketing website. It's not really a taxi company. Tap the likes and follows, by the way, much appreciated. So yeah, simulators poor. I'm guessing to Andy. I don't know if he's still in the chat. So what are you thinking? If registering VAT in London is better or not? So confused. And he's just put, they can, but Uber then claims VAT. They pay drivers back off their VAT, so it reduces Uber's personal VAT bill. So if Uber's paying the drivers 20% more, that's going off as a VAT expense for them. Because I said before, if Uber's pushing drivers to go VAT registered, it must be in benefit for Uber, or they wouldn't be pushing it. So what Andy's saying, if more drivers are VAT registered, Uber can offset their VAT bill onto the drivers. Is that what you're kind of saying? I have been limited for taxis. It's a pain in the ass. I went back to self-employed. Yeah, Jack. Same again, Andy. Um, I've got multiple self-employed businesses, still not limited company, and he advises not to go limited unless you hit a certain threshold. Do you know what I mean? And taxi drivers don't hit that threshold, or Uber drivers don't hit that threshold. So realistically, mate, you do not need to go limited doing this job. Oh, mate, it's 20 to 12 and I'm starving. I'm hungry. So what are we summarising from this live stream, guys? Are you considering going electric? Or are you going to stick to your diesel hybrids? Or your hybrids diesels? Let me know. Diesel or electric, what are we doing? What are we choosing? Because I'm going to finish this in about 15, 20 minutes. Maybe sooner. Because I'm starving. But I'll be back Wednesday, don't forget. I am changing the live stream to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. 3 streams a week. That is what I'm trying to do. Electric. Yeah, I think you do. I think you need to go electric if you got your home charger, mate. Definitely. So thank you, thank you, Andy, for your advice. Much appreciated. Yeah, simulator, like you said, mate, it's an hard one, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I still think there's a lot of grey areas involved when you give that advice. Um, but realistically, mate, I think what I'm getting from it is it's just not worth it, mate. Probably bringing in a lot more hassle, and maybe even if they add a bit of extra money onto your fare, it'll probably be more beneficial for them than you. That's what I'm getting from it. Do you know what I mean? If you go VAT registered for an Uber driver in London, I think Uber will benefit more than you will. And you're better off to staying not VAT registered. Because I'm pretty sure, mate, it's a lot more hassle, higher accountancy bills and everything. Because you have to start doing VAT accounts and all sorts. And then you got to claim VAT for all your expenses. It's a lot of hassle to being an Uber driver, mate. Do you know what I mean? For the sake of it. And it's probably not going to make a massive difference either way, really. And I think obviously Andy can confirm on that. I just don't think it would be worth it. Like I said, I've grew up, mate. I've grew up about the VAT and I've grew up about avoiding the VAT threshold as best as you can. I'm doing my own tax return tonight. I think I'm better putting the rental fee rather than the miles. Why are you doing your own tax return? Why have you left it so late? All right, Mr. Dangerous Jack there. So he's always told me that it's better to claim all your expenses, not doing the mileage. He said it's better off. You get more bang for your buck from just claiming your expenses. Especially if you're renting, by the way, as well. It's a bit different if you're owning. But if you're renting and you could put your settle through, your insurance through, and all your fuel bills, if you got your fuel receipts, I reckon that will be well better than your mileage. Do you know what you could do, Jack? You could actually just do it two accounts there quick and see which expense comes up better. That'd be interesting. So claim all your expenses, your vehicle expenses, separately, and then claim all your mileage expenses and see which expense is higher. That'd be interesting, won't it? And at least then you'll know which one to do. To have to follow Seb on Facebook, much appreciated. And to have to follow guys, might have missed that. Yeah, honestly, I'm just trying my best to grow the streams, guys. And for you jumping in and having a gab and catching up, I think it's been great and a great turnout as well. Thank you very much. Andrew at Jack, you're better claiming all expenses than mileage, and you can't chop and change. So whatever you claim, then stick to that method each year. Huh? Hmm. But Andy, he's already been a taxi driver for years. Is he allowed to change once? But what you're saying is you can't pick the best choice each year. Then they'll flag it up. That's interesting, Andy, because obviously a lot of people could run both accounts, couldn't he? See which one's more beneficial, and then submit that each year, couldn't you? Not really. So, Jack, have you always claimed the miles, mate? What Andy's saying there is you're best off just sticking to that then. Or if you do change in a one-off, don't change back. Like you say, Andy, it's a tax loophole, and then if you keep changing after year to whichever pays off best, and that's why you don't allow to chop and change. Yeah, yeah. So if he changes once, then sticks to that. It's not a problem. He might have got new advice. Do you know what I mean? But what you're saying is he can't go back. Tax dodge. So if he changes this year to real expenses, and if they pull him on account, he can say, "Oh, I got advice from an amazing accountant." Then just don't switch back. I had an accountant, but he retired. Didn't say. I'll claim the car. I think the rental's been. So you had an accountant, and you've reached out to them and went, "Hey, let's get me account sorted." And he's like, "Nah, lad, I'm retired." He's just left you with a lurch. Proper bailed on you there, Jack. Time to like some follows on TikTok. And if you're watching, much appreciated and tuning in. But yeah. But listen, guys, it's died off a bit now. So I think I'm going to call it a day. It's been a great little stream. Cut it short a little bit. I want to have some dinner. I want to chop it up and get some videos out of it for content. So yeah, listen, much appreciated. Thanks for Andy coming on. Hopefully he's going to come on as a guest in February when he quietens down a bit. Hopefully. And yeah, I was like, okay, he said paperwork is better in the post. Funny that. To be honest, you had 9 months to get things sorted. Leaving at last minute, drive those accountants up the wall. Jack, be told, lad. Sort your head out and stop leaving at last minute. 9 months you've had to sort this. Poor flipping Andy's lost all his hair. Spoiler, he's got none. Like, listen, I'm going, boys. I'm starving, and I've still got loads to do during the day. Thanks again, everyone tuning in. Time for all likes and follows. I'll be back on 10 a.m. Wednesday, and I don't know what the subject's going to be, but I'll choose.